Yeah, it's a good sales tactic. But I'm not discouraging anyone from speaking. But perhaps if you were going to agree with the repeat what the person before you said, you could just step up and say, I support this and I agree with the previous speaker, or something along those lines. And then we'll hopefully make sure that everyone can speak today. So we're going to open this up to public comment. I have a lot of people that have signed up. I don't think I'm going to go through the list. I think I'm just going to ask everyone who wants to speak to some sort of orderly fashion, make your way up towards the podium. You don't have to form a line or anything, but you can if you like. So first speaker, first name, last name, county of residence, and you have 3 minutes, sir.
Okay. My name is Garrett Mitchell, and I'm a Manatee County resident. I encourage you guys to hear out. We've got a few speeches on the way for you guys that we've prepared, our four crew, and if you agree with that, maybe it's enough to allow these guys to go to a vote. But good afternoon, guys. I'm Garrett Mitchell, like I said, and I own the Freedom Factory, which is the Speedway on 64. It's been the Freedom Factory for 3 years. The drag strip is named Bradenton Motorsports Park. Right now, there's 15,000 people on the live feed for Manatee County's live feed, which is exciting. And, look at all these people here. Like, look at all these people in opposition of what's trying to be passed today. I'm thankful, though, that we have the opportunity to speak before you today and express our opposition to this application. These are no highways, like Kyle said the sound study was based on. I'm going to show this photo on the overhead. Can we pull that up there real quick? Yeah. All right. This is the project here in the X'd out area. This is our racetrack. This line right here signifies the typical place that I knock the head gasket out of my engine when I'm making a pass, causing a loud explosion that every house in this community is going to hear, whether there's a 20-foot fence or a 80-foot wide berm. Those are what I think are the facts. So we're very lucky to have two of the most successful racetracks in the county right here in Manatee County. Unfortunately, homes being built next to racetracks is a classic way they fail. The homeowners complain until the racetracks are overrun in local government. The homeowners complain until the racetracks are overrun. Having future homeowners sign a disclosure that the track is there is not enough. And it goes without saying a 20-foot tall fence is probably not enough to stop the sound of a screw-blown, bald eagle breathing V8. The solutions the applicants are proposing will not work, and that's why we all want this completely denied. No transmittal. Let's keep in mind these racetracks operate more than 180 days a year. And as an owner of the track, I simply cannot let these dense neighborhoods get any closer than they are. I think we all know that if this application is transmitted today, there's likely no going back. The state doesn't know the area like you guys do. They don't know the families at the track. They don't see the packed restaurants after a race night. They don't see the booked up hotels. This application needs to stop right here, today. This rezoning could significantly impact Manatee County forever. I ask you this as I close this out because it seems like my time just went so fast. If I came to you commissioners today and asked you to rezone some of my land to build two massive loud racetracks right next to 4,500 homes that stood there for 50 years, would you approve it? And if the answer to that is no, then this is not a compatible use of the land. That is all I have to say. I want my son to own this racetrack one day. Don't let my racetrack die again.
Thank you, sir. Sir? Sir? Next. First and last name, county of residence. You have 3 minutes.
My name is Victor Alvarez. I own Bradenton Motorsports Park, which is next door to the Freedom Factory. Honestly, most of what I wanted to say was covered, and I really appreciated the enthusiasm behind what everyone has said to protect the racetracks. These tracks were built in the 70s, and I would consider them to be a landmark in Manatee County. I would say, obviously it's slightly biased, but if you do some research, these are probably the two most popular racetracks in the country. And Manatee County is lucky to have them. You know, we have a large economic impact, and I hope that that is considered. I also have 2 daughters that I want to own the racetrack one day, and I hope that they take an interest in it. And I also think that aside from our economic impact, I think that we have a lot of positive impact. I live in Tampa, I reside in Tampa, but obviously own the racetracks here. If you drive around Tampa on a Saturday night, there's street racing everywhere. If you watch the news, Gandy Boulevard, wherever you want to go, it's just nonstop street racing. We don't have that problem, you know, to that extent here because these people have a safe haven. They have a safe place to go and race. Motorsports is a lifestyle. We give these people a place to race. And we're just extremely concerned, not that you guys aren't, because we've seen this all around the country. These homes get built, the people complain, members of the board change, or something changes, something happens, we get a noise ordinance, or we get something that happens that, you know, puts us out of business. That's all we want to avoid. We just ask that you guys take that into consideration, and we hope to be racing for a long time to come. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker. First and last name, county of residence. You have 3 minutes.
Yep, Dustin Fowler, Hillsborough County. I'm a state licensed contractor. So we actually build these walls that you were just asking so many questions about. I can tell you facts. I don't like to talk in what ifs and what could be's. I'm going to tell you exactly what they are. So the DOT, one mistake they made is they called it a sound buffer. So now it falls under Florida state law and statute. So since they did that, statute 335.17 requires the opacity of noise to help protect the public health, welfare, and liability of the community. Meaning they have to do a structure sound test that the developer has to pay for, which they have not done, which we have to go, we're the ones who put the walls in, put the actual physical wall in, and then they have to do a structure test on it at their peak noise, not at the corner of the track when nobody's there. At their peak noise during an event, they have to do that. And I can guarantee you, FDOT only requires for interstate is 80 decibels. These cars put way over 80 decibels, okay? So when they do the structure test, it is gonna fail with flying colors. And this berm that they're talking about, right? So sound drops about 16 decibels per 100 yards, meaning from that wall, just off of distance of noise, they'd have to have 1,000 yards, 3,000 feet in between you to be able to require that buffer, if you're understanding what I'm saying. So these walls that I'm talking about, they're talking about a 10-foot wall. The interstate walls that only block 80 decibels are 25 feet tall, just the wall, not the berm. So unless they're gonna put a 45-foot wall, which by the way doesn't exist because we don't build them, there's no answer for it. So the sound that they have proposed doesn't exist. The technology will not work, and that's why under state law this cannot stand. Their plans are invalid. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker. First and last name, your county of residence, and you have 3 minutes.